So I'm very pleased that Nelson Beebe, who's been on the Tech Hour for a long time now, well, at least 3 or 4 months, has agreed to do this question and answer session on CTAN and Tech Live. And he's got a long history. He'll tell us about it. I'll say a little bit about myself. I started with tech in the late 1880s as a research mathematician, and I got involved because it meant I could typeset my own papers. I've been a long-standing member of the tech community, serving the community in a number of official capacities. I'm now retired from the Open University, where I was the LaTeX officer with responsibility for the technical side of production of course materials. And my interest in CTAN and Tech Live is more or less as enabling technologies, and I'm strongly influenced by the Python community, which has an organization called the Cheese Shop, or the Python Package Index, which films a source of similar purpose to CTAN. And it also has a program called pip, which is a bit like a patch manager. So that's my introduction to myself. I wonder if Dwight or Kelly or Erdal or Jim would like to introduce themselves.
I'll go now. So my name is Jim Carlson. I am a retired mathematician. I was actually a colleague of Nelson's for many years at the University of Utah. And I've used tech, of course, throughout my career for writing research papers. And since my retirement, I've gotten involved in a software project using Elm to develop a live editing solution for LaTeX on the web. It's called Mini LaTeX. If you go to minilatex.lambdera.app, you will find it. I'll put the reference in the chat.
Dwight?
Well, my name is Dwight Aplovich. I'm a user since the mid-'80s, although I started using more intently towards the end of the '80s when I was writing a book. And I encountered LaTeX picture objects, which didn't seem adequate for me at the time. And so I got into graphics for LaTeX, and I'm the author of a package on CTAN. But I'm really more interested in the future than the past. In particular, the relationship to web documents. I can't claim extensive knowledge in that area, but I am interested in where things are going.
Okay, maybe I can introduce myself. I'm a senior year computer engineering student in MEF University at Istanbul. I've been using LaTeX for a little more than 2 years for basically my homeworks, assignments, presentation, basically for my document preparation needs.
Hi, my name's Kelly Johnson, and I'm a stock assessment scientist at NOAA within the U.S. federal government, and I work for the National Marine Fisheries Service. And I run computer models that predict how many fish are in the ocean, and then I use R and R Markdown and LaTeX and TinyText and a bunch of packages all bundled within that to automatically compile documents so that my life isn't involved with cutting and pasting.
Philip, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I've been using LaTeX since about 1992. I use it mainly for writing scientific papers, and I'm also a big user of BibTeX.
Okay, so that's the introductions over, except for Nelson, who introduced the whole thing, if you like. So Nelson, when you're ready, the field is yours. When you're ready.
Thank you. So I happen to be in the Bay Area, in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm pretty sure it was in the late 1970s, attending a conference. And someone there said, hey, did you know that Donald Knuth is giving a talk at Xerox PARC this afternoon? Would you like to come along with me? So I said, certainly, because I knew who he was, because we had the Art of Computer Programming books on our shelves in my campus office. And it really was an eye-opener, because until then, I had been very concerned about the problem of scientists who were doing computing, that they had the ability to write software, but they didn't have the ability to document what they were doing. There are no journals you could publish software in, and there was no way to produce documentation other than on a typewriter. And I had been working on a document formatting system myself, which bears some resemblance to NROF, but I didn't know about NROF at the time. And so I decided that it was time to abandon that work and spend my effort helping to promote tech and get it running on as many systems as possible. And so I've spent, I guess, a lot of time over the last 40 plus years doing just that, writing software for DVI drivers and for indexing, and concentrating, using my expertise in software portability to make sure that tech is available pretty much everywhere. Tech has been implemented on devices as small as watches and mobile phones, and all the way up to supercomputers. And every year in the Tech Live team, I make a big push to make sure that we can build tech and Metafont and all of the associated packages on a large collection of machines. This year, it's more than 75 systems, of which only about 6 or 8 become part of the standard distribution, but the others are still available at our website. So that's, I think, what I want to say at that point. I can go on to talk about CTAN and Tech Live, but perhaps people would like to raise questions first.